Following the announcement of an additional 8-week strike by ASUU, the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, will stage, at least it says it will stage a week-long protest in the Federal Capital Territory. According to the group's leadership, the protest is to register students' displeasure over the ongoing strike. And NANS is also out calling on parents to join the demonstration.
We shall always fight for our right.
The Abuja Street University is a university I've just created by Nigerian students, which means all Nigerian students will come out, will mobilize down to Abuja here.
Of the greatest Nigerian students?
Yes, we are mobilizing down to Abuja, and when every student is coming, they will come with a mattress, they will come with their toothbrush, they will come with their cooking materials. So we will resume to our new university here in Abuja until the day our universities are open.
The president of NANS, Sunday Asefon, joins us now in the studio. Thank you so much for joining us on the news tonight. That was earlier today when you spoke. But one wonders, is NAN's voice effective on university strike in Nigeria? How effective is NAN's?
Yeah, I think it is before people believe the National Association of Nigerian Students has lost their voice. You know, being the voice of the voiceless. But as I speak to you today, like I came here some days before our protests, I told you a lot of people did not believe Nigerian student is going to come out. But I think we have shown that the consciousness is back, and we are beginning to regain our strength as a Nigerian student. And we need to speak for our future. It's our future. And I think we are ready to take our cross.
And how far are you willing to take this? And let me even, add this. Some stakeholders are saying maybe it's time for Nigerian universities to be concessioned, because it seems to be a more sustainable way out of this constant ASUU, strikes. What do you think about that? Let's talk about the way forward, really.
Yeah, like today, when we had our meeting, the Zoom meeting, we had a Zoom meeting where a lot of students joined, and a lot of suggestions came up. And to the extent, I fell in love with my colleagues today.
What are some of the suggestions that came up?
Imagine students are saying, we have to support the government. I have a student from University of ASUU who suggested maybe every student, each student should be contributing money. We should open an account, and we should be, contributing for 4,000 naira. Another student called from University of Abuja, University of Ibadan, that wave is 2,000 naira. That if we look at the population of the students we have in both the state university and federal university, who are public school, that if we can contribute to 2,000 naira, and it will go a long way. If federal government are saying they don't have money to pay or to revitalize our university system, then we should be able to come out and support them. But I look at it as if our government has failed.
Okay, so you're saying you want to contribute to help the government pay your lecturers? Is that what you're saying? These are suggestions. Okay,
from our meeting, it's a Zoom meeting.
Yeah, there was no resolution to that. But let me ask you, because if you have been following the deliberations between the government and your lecturers, the two most important unresolved demands for the lecturers remain the renegotiation of the 2009 agreement, which the federal government has now set up another committee to review. Secondly is the issue of the payment system, UTAS versus IPs. Do you think, or how do you propose that the government and the lecturers can make peace on these two issues. Did you also talk about this at your Zoom meeting?
Yes, we did. That will make me to go to what we discuss, and by tomorrow we are going to address a press conference. By 11 today, we are also having the National ESCO meeting again to resolve and to have a position. So by tomorrow we are going to address a press conference, and part of what we want to embark on to do to see how to resolve these issues. We want to call out all our former leaders who have served in this organization, who are serving rep member, who are serving senators, who are serving deputy governors, who are governors, and who are, head of agencies. We want to call them, and we are going to come out with a name tomorrow. We are giving them between tomorrow and Tuesday next week, or Wednesday probably, to interface with the acting president, who is a former lecturer. I think the Minister of Education and the Minister of Labor, since they are not, ASUU is not understanding them, or maybe they are not understanding ASUU, and as such that, will I say they don't have the capacity to engage, or ASUU has overpowered them. I don't understand. So we believe we want to call them out. They should interface with the president, and they should also interface with the leadership of ASUU. Why our own plan ongoing? So if we now discover that with all this, our effort, we discovered it does not yield any result, then we have no option to also resort to the last C, which is confrontation. And
will confrontation really solve the problem? The ASUU president says there is a need to call for a state of emergency in the university sector. Is that part of the, what you think?
I totally agree with that.
And let me talk about this UTAS that seems to be, it is a thorny issue between UTAS and IPs. ASUU is saying that UTAS has a success rate of 75%, re-echoing what they say that NIDA, has also said. But do you think the government is just buying time in rejecting UTAS?
I just believe when I met with the Minister of Labor, he make a comment that I appreciate. I appreciate that comment because he said, Luther is being developed here. IPPS is a foreign platform, which he, as a minister, you will encourage something that is ours. Are you getting me? But the problem is, there is a politics on this issue of UTAS. And the politics is only feasible between us, is between the ASUU and the government.
What do you think the politics is?
I go further. I was with some people, they said, if you know why ASUU is fighting Patami, it's as a result of ASUU seeing that it's Patami that they don't want UTAS to come on board, and they felt they must, engage him.
Pantami, of course, is the Minister for Communication. Yeah.
And, like I said, the politics there, are you getting me? The politics there, it is just like you are bringing something. You are bringing something. What are you getting? Are you getting me?
Okay.
But that area will not, nobody will come up. At a time, if you remember, ASUU said the same NIDA scored them 85. So how could you score someone 85 and come back again and said something?
There's a lot of claims and counter claims, but we have to look at that. Thank you so much, Sunday Asefon, for joining us on the news tonight. We keep a tab on your protests to block the highways here in the Federal Capital Territory.
See how things go.
And yes, we'll watch that space.